Hey, what's up everybody? Clayton here with Go Analytics, and today we're here to show you how to work with Waterfall Charts in Power BI. That's right. Did you ever want to make a chart that shows incremental changes? Well, today we're going to guide you through that journey. So let's get started. Hey, welcome to our YouTube channel. If you're finding us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications to stay up to date on all of our latest data visualization and data analysis videos. All right, so today we're talking about waterfall charts. So what is a waterfall chart and how can it help me in my Power BI reports? Well, let's answer that question. Let's head on over to my laptop and I'll show you. All right, so here we are in Power BI desktop and we're taking a look here at a waterfall chart. So what is a waterfall chart? Well, a waterfall chart is simply a chart that shows incremental values. As we can see here, it's showing us an incremental change from one period. So here starting in October 2024 all the way to November 2024. So it shows us how things have changed by the categories that we assign. So in our case here, we're looking at the incremental changes given by industry for each for the GDP change on a month-over-month basis. So we can see a couple of industries here that have had a positive impact on GDP this month between October and November. And then a few others that also had a negative impact on GDP. And then some of the main ones that are leading to a decrease in GDP here. We see all of these industries here. So that's what a waterfall chart will do. There's a lot of different use cases for a waterfall chart. You see it commonly in finance, so breaking down revenue by costs to see how your net profit are impacted. We've seen it used in HR as well to track hires versus departures across periods and so on. And you can think as creatively as you want as well, doing budget versus actuals. So it's a very powerful, very useful chart inside of Power BI. So how do you create one of these charts? Well, that's what I'm going to show you right now. So let's head on over here to a new page that I've already created. And we're going to start from scratch creating a waterfall chart. All right, so I'm going to expand the visualizations pane here. And the chart that we want to choose here is the waterfall chart. So I'm going to click on that chart and resize it here on our report canvas. And then we just need to add our data into this chart. So on the data well here, we can see we have a few options to choose from. So we have a category, a breakdown, and a y-axis. So the y-axis is the data that we want to measure. So let's start with that one. So for our case here, the data that we want to measure is this real GDP measure that we've already calculated. So I'm going to add that. And then we need to assign a category. So a category is essentially what's going to show up on our x-axis of this chart. So in our previous case, we were looking at it by month and year. So I'm going to open up my dates table here. And I can bring over that column, our month and year column. And now we're starting to see a little bit, of what we want. So we have our October data, we have our November data, and then it's summing up to a total. That's not quite exactly how we wanted to display it. So we need to add our breakdown here. And our breakdown is the industry. So we have this industry column. Perfect. So now I've added that industry and we're starting to see our chart come alive right now. So we have our starting point here of October, And then we have our industries. We do have pulled in the all industries, so I want to filter that out just before we get ahead of this. So I'm going to select all industries except for that all. And now, as you can see here, we have our October starting point going all the way down to November. Again, this is a scale issue a little bit where we're not seeing our November data, but it's starting to show us that incremental change based on each of the industries. So the next thing we want to do to this chart is do a little bit of formatting, and let's explore some of the formatting that is available to us within the waterfall chart. So if I navigate over here to the format your visual, we still have the usual formatting options like editing the x-axis, the y-axis, the legend, grid lines. But what's important here and different than other charts is the columns. So the columns are each of these categories that we have in here, and we can edit the colors of these columns. So if it impacted positively the change, by default it's showing a green color. If it impacted negatively, so a decrease, it is showing a red color. If it's an other, then it's showing a yellow color, and our totals are being shown as a blue color. So we could change these or we could leave them as default, keeping in mind that, you know, some folks out there with color blindness might have a hard time seeing green versus reds. So I usually like to use a blue for my positives, and then a red for my negatives is fine. And I can keep the yellow for my other category. You could adjust the spacing between the categories as well. So right now we have a 20%. I could increase that and make my bars a little bit more narrow. Let's leave it at 25% here. And the other option that we want to explore is this breakdown. So we can actually tell Power BI how many categories we want to show. So by default, it's showing us 5 categories. So in our case here, it's going to show us 5 industries and then group everything else under other. So we could increase that all the way up to 20. So as you can see, then we get a full picture of all of the industries that it had an increase in GDP, and then all of the industries that had a decline in GDP. So maybe if we go with 10 here, that's a better looking chart that we can see detailed information, but not too crowded of an x-axis here. And then we could go ahead and change things like data labels, the colors, the y-axis, and all of that, just as you would with any other chart. But the key difference here is that incremental change. So it's a very powerful chart to show us that incremental change between one point and another point. So in our case here, since we have a date, a month and year, we're essentially showing that change on a month-over-month basis. And we could also add additional periods. So I'm showing here only the last 1 year, last 1 month. But let's say if I added that to the last 2 months. So now you can see for each of those months, you know, now I can see from September to October how things changed. And then I can see from October to November how things changed. So all of those editing options are available here to us. And it is a powerful, powerful chart to show incremental changes in Power BI. So that's it. That's how you can create waterfall chart in Power BI. So if you're trying to show those incremental changes, you want to check out that waterfall chart and enhance the look of your report and the usability of it too. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.